Hi everybody, Red Hill Eagle here. Welcome back to the channel. This is episode 16 of A Broken Heart. It's Sunday, week 4 of March 1998, and it's time for WCW Uncensored. It's our second pay-per-view of the series. It kicks off with an opening hype video, as you would probably expect. Another little oddity, Randy Savage refused to work an angle with Hogan later on in the night, but he agreed to do this one. I know technically it's a taped angle, but as far as the game's concerned, they're all kind of on screen together. A rating of 80, so a pretty good start, but you know, what do you expect when you're using all your top guys? Eddie Guerrero takes on Ray Traylor in the opener. This never really kind of reached the level I may have hoped. I know Ray Traylor was unimportant and he's not really kind of progressed. It was kind of a low level story. I just think I would have liked to have done a little bit more with it, but as I've said before, kind of there's people ahead of Ray Traylor that I want to push. So Ray Traylor will actually be leaving after this show. So yeah, we got him on like a one more month just to get this match out of the way. Really, it ends the storyline. You've probably guessed Eddie Guerrero gets the win in 9 minutes 5 seconds by pinfall with a frog splash. So yeah, rating of 66. Again, nothing over important to say. It's a story that just didn't develop as much as I hoped, but there we go. Gene Okerlund talks to Kurt Hennig ahead of the US title match between Diamond Dallas Page, the current champion, and his challenger Raven. Not much to say about this one either, really. I was going to do just a normal kind of pre-match promos between Raven and DDP, but then I thought, how about we just do it a little bit differently? Kurt Hennig's not on the show. Have him be interviewed and have Gene Okerlund ask him. Hennig doesn't say much. Didn't really want to go into too many details with this one. He doesn't say a lot. He just says, it doesn't really matter to me who's the champion, but whoever comes out of this match, I'm going to be going for you. I'm going to be going for that title. A rating of 66. And then it's the match itself, another 66. DDP gets the win in 13 minutes and 1 second by pinfall with a diamond cutter. It's defense number 4 of the United States heavyweight title. Yeah, nothing more about this one. DDP was off his game, which was obviously slightly unfortunate, but 66, I suppose it isn't too bad. Raven's only recognisable, I think. Diamond Dallas Page, though, being a major star, might have hoped for a little bit more, but he was off his game, which probably affected it a little bit. We've then got Meng and the Barbarian, who make up the Faces of Fear in a pre-match promo as they go to take on Arn Anderson and Bobby Eaton. Misspelled against there, Agenzer. Yeah, and that's all it is. It's just a pre-match promo. 55. Yeah, a little bit disappointing, but well. On to the match itself, another 66. The Faces of Fear get the win in 10 minutes 2 seconds when Meng pinned Bobby Eaton with a double big boot. Yeah, another 66 rating. Faces of Fear get the win. Faces of Fear are kind of in a storyline with the Steiners at the moment, so you can probably imagine I'm just trying to get them over a little bit more than most of the other, or some of the other teams. So yeah, rating of 66. Faces of Fear come out on top. Conan and Roddy Piper then have pre-match promos. Rating 68, slightly better than the majority of angles so far, or any segment for that matter. Nothing more, again, to say about this one. I think I said this in the last pay-per-view, the Super Brawl. Most angles in the pay-per-views are just going to be pre-match promos. They don't develop a story. I might have a few here and there, but generally they're pre-match promos or interviews, or they just hype the matches or like a post-match something. I don't go into too many details with the angles at pay-per-views. It is there just to serve a purpose. Rating 68 though. What do we get for the match? A 65. But Conan gets the win. We've also ended this storyline. Same reason really. Just wasn't kind of going anywhere. Just kind of wanted to use it as a vehicle to try and get Conan over. Hoping to put him into a different storyline soon. We've got a couple of storylines ending in this show. So in fact, that might just be those two so far. So obviously Guerrero, we're going to want to move on pretty quick to another story. Conan, definitely. Not sure we're going to do too much with Piper, but maybe he'll be thereabouts, maybe as a supporting character. But yeah, Overall score of 65. Conan gets the win in 14 minutes 52 by pinfall. And then pre-match promos between Randy Savage and Kevin Nash. Yes, I wanted this to be Randy Savage, and Kevin Nash was going to be with the rest of the NWO. I could have done it as two separate angles. I could have done, but that Savage was refusing to do an angle with Hogan. So, a little bit frustrating. But anyway, 83, all good stuff. And the match does pretty well, 75. Yeah, I mean, that's not too bad for two kind of guys at the tail end of their careers, maybe. Savage more so than Nash. But the bout had great heat and decent wrestling. Kevin Nash defeated Randy Savage in 10 minutes 8 seconds by pinfall after using a foreign object. So, 75 rating, and Kevin Nash getting the win. I can't remember, was there anything else, Road Agent Notes? Did I have any? No, I did have the tainted finish. I couldn't remember if I had any. No, I didn't. Any distractions or anything like that. I was confident I didn't, but I just wanted to double check. But yeah, just Kevin Nash getting the win by cheating, by hitting Savage over the head with a foreign object. Gene Okerlund interviews Lex Luger and Buff Bagwell pre-match. There's no sign of Liz, so we're all wondering which corner Liz is going to be in, Buff Bagwell's or Lex Luger's. There's no sign of her at the moment though. And this again, they're just pre-match promos. There's a little bit more to this, obviously, with the whole Liz thing. Not sure, sort of where she is, whose corner is she going to be in. But yeah, Luger and Bagwell managing to behave themselves pre-match as they are interviewed by Okerlund. 71 rating isn't too bad. Let's go over and see what the match does. 65, yeah, disappointing. We've ended the storyline. I was waiting for this, yeah. So hang on. Decent reaction from the crowd. Subpar wrestling. Let's Luger defeated Buff Bagwell in 14 minutes 29 by pinfall with a running forearm smash. During the match, we also saw Elizabeth distract Bagwell and distract Luger. So not deliberately going in to distract them to influence the match, but she comes to ringside. They both look at her. They both get distracted by her. And yes, fans are starting to get bored by the hints of Elizabeth face turn. Don't think I needed to be told 3 times, but yeah, it has gone on for quite a while. There's been 20 odd segments. So yeah, we will be turning her face, but a rating of 65 for this one. And then post-match, Lex Luger poses, flexes and all that. We've ended that storyline, which is all about who had the better body. So he's obviously posing, but he starts looking around, where's Liz, what's going on. Overall rating of 70. The Steiner brothers defend the Tag Team Championships against Mortis and Wrath, and they get the win in 9 minutes 24 in a decent match when Scott Steiner forced Mortis to submit. It's defense number 6 of their tag team titles, and the overall rating of 71 isn't too bad. I'm hoping to get a little bit more out of some matches, but we are still at the moment, we're having a lot of none of these guys are major star or star, so 71's actually pretty decent, I suppose. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. And yeah, Steiner Brothers come out on top. They still hold the belts. Then we go backstage, and Lex Luger is looking for Liz. Rating of 70. Nothing more to say about that. He's just wondering, where's Liz? Anyone seen Liz? I won the match. I thought she'd be celebrating with me. I thought she'd be, coming to my side. Well, I don't know. Anyone seen her? What's going on? And then we have a pre-match interview with Bret Hart from Gene Okerlund, and it's a pre-match against Hogan. Elizabeth turns up, wishes him luck, and they announce that they are in a relationship. Bret Hart and Elizabeth are in a relationship. Rating 76. This is where this effectively turns Liz's face. She doesn't sort of do anything it's not like a real big impact, but the fact that she's aligned herself with Bret Hart makes her face. We can now make that change. Thank goodness for that. Look at 29 segments. Yeah, probably was a little bit. Probably was a little too many there, but there we go. This turn has been foreshadowed for so long that the fans had actually grown bored of the whole saga. And that affected the surprise of the turn. I've never had that before, but I've never really triggered a face turn or kind of activated a face turn for so long. or planned, should I say planned, a face turn for so long before triggering it. So, okay, I guess it didn't really, pretty well, not a complete success, but okay, fine. And then as Bret takes on Hogan, it's a draw. I never intended for Bret Hart to win this. I didn't really want him to lose either, so went with the next best thing. In a bout that had fantastic heat and good wrestling, Bret Hart drew with Hollywood Hogan in 16 minutes 59, following a double disqualification. The match also had a lot of interference. Kevin Nash targeted Bret Hart. Lex Luger attacked Bret Hart, of course, because now he thinks that Bret's stolen Elizabeth from him. And Elizabeth distracted Bret Hart, but again, not in the evil sense, just in the sense that she was at ringside. And we'll transition from that. She's not going to keep just distracting people because she's so beautiful, and that's not what we're going to be doing sort of long term. Yeah, we had Lex Luger turn on Bret Hart. So Luger has turned heel. Complete success, brilliant stuff. So this show so far, then we've turned Elizabeth face, Lex Luger heel, and you can probably guess what's coming. There's going to be a storyline between Bret Hart and Lex Luger. So Lex's storyline's now finished. What we'll probably do is put Bret as a supporting character in his current storyline with the NWO, and we'll give him sort of more of a storyline, a separate storyline with Lex Luger. Again, just trying to increase the number of storylines, really. 79 rating overall for this one isn't too bad. Chris Jericho, then with his Dr. Powers, has a promo, a pre-match promo. Ric Flair has his pre-match promo as well, but obviously Chris Jericho, Rick, I'm still feeling a bit dodgy. My doctor's here. We'll see how it goes. I might have to, enforce some of those timeouts that I said about, this match is now a timeout match. So, we'll just have to see how it goes. Obviously, it's all doctor's orders. It's all above board. I'm not influencing any of it. Yeah, right, of course you're not. Rating of 73. So, I've taken on Powers now on a proper contract. The last Nitro, it was a one-night deal, but I thought, yeah, it makes sense. Bring her in as kind of Jericho's doctor. It's not going to be a long-term thing. I was even thinking about just having someone completely different and just making a bit of a joke of it, like he seems to have a different doctor every week sort of thing. So we've got a gimmick change here for Dr. Powers. Old school face, which is, I've kind of messed up there a little bit, I guess. But it did get an initial rating of great. Now, I've not mechanically put her in as Jericho's manager because I didn't really want to go that route. I know I probably should have done, but I didn't. Probably maybe wrongly getting away from some penalties there, but I just completely forgot to make her heel, to be honest with you. But there we go. Rating of 73, and now we've got the match itself. 79, another late 70s, or no, another upper 70s. Chris Jericho defeated Ric Flair in 12 minutes 55 by pinfall, illegally using the ropes for leverage. But you can imagine this match, every time sort of Ric Flair gets on top, Chris Jericho calls a timeout, or, Dr. Powers calls a timeout. He's got a well-trained, when it looks like things are, just a timeout. And so a lot of cheating going on, getting a lot of heat on Chris Jericho. And obviously he just ends up getting sort of a surprise win against Flair, using those ropes for leverage. The match did gain heat on the storyline though, which is all good stuff. So yeah, so far so good. Yeah, I'm really hoping we get a plus 80s now, preferably. I'm not sure I can see it though, to be honest with you. So these are taped promos. They're promos that were taped before the show. Sting and Hall, but Hall is with the NWO. Just pre-world title match. The reason I did it as taped was because Gorilla Monsoon is a commentator for events. So I've had Gene Oakland interview Sting and Gorilla Monsoon interview Hall with the NWO, but just to make it kind of semi-realistic, Gorilla Monsoon's on commentary, so he couldn't do the interview, so we just had it that it was taped. They taped it, earlier in the day or during the week after Nitro, whatever. 85 for this one, so it's our first. I think it's our first plus 80s score. Really hope the match can live up to that, but I've got to be honest, I don't think it will. 78, yeah, would have been nice, but it was a fantastic. Well, it had fantastic heat and good wrestling. Sting defeated Scott Hall in 13 minutes 44 by pinfall with a quick roll up. during the match. We also had Rick Rude run in and attack Sting. Sting makes defense number 3 of the WCW World Heavyweight title. So yeah, 78 to finish us off. Before I go to the final screen, take a look at what you predicted. If any of you did put down your predictions, see how well you've done. Obviously, the draw would have been a difficult one because who's going to predict a draw? Maybe you did, but yeah, take a look and let's see what we get overall. 79. It's not the worst. Really need to start getting those up though. But yeah, not the worst at all. I'm pleased with it from a storytelling point of view. From a narrative point of view, I'm really pleased. We've obviously going to kick off the story now between Lex Luger and Bret Hart. Eddie Guerrero, we've got to think about who we're going to put him in a storyline with next, and obviously Conan as well. Yeah, so a little bit. I was just thinking there, Piper and Guerrero, but I think I want Guerrero to go in with maybe a multi-man storyline. Put him in with some people who are quite popular. Maybe we can align him with someone like Luger and get him in there with Bret. We'll see. We'll have a look. I don't know yet. But that's it then for the moment. Hope you've enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe and do all that good stuff. Give me any comments below, things you liked, things you didn't, any ideas for future storylines with the guys now that we're kind of freed up. Let me know, and I'll leave it there. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all again soon. Goodbye.